Myself, I'm Dr. Annie Isabel Fukushima. My preferred name is Dr. Fukushima. I am joined by a lovely team. And actually, before we introduce the rest of the team, you've been receiving tons of communications from this wonderful, multicolored haired person. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Angie Leva. You will feel free to just call me Angie. And I'm the academic program coordinator here at the Office of Undergraduate Research, and I am the point of contact for SPUR. So any questions you have related to the program, please feel free to shoot them my way.
Yeah, and so Angie and all of our offices are in the garden level, also known as the basement, here in this building. So if you ever need to come and find us, just go down those stairs and you'll find any member of the team hanging out there to support you. But we're going to actually introduce the rest of the team. Cindy's our associate director. If there's anything with pay issues or anything with financial stuff, Angie, you'll probably see Angie loop her in. You'll want Angie to be your point of contact, but you may hear from a Cindy at times. If you hear from Cindy Greaves, you should probably respond because it's very important. Also important, do you want to introduce yourself?
So I'm Shelley Parker, I'm the events manager. So I manage all the education centers, the grad school mini expo and the symposium on August 1st. So my emails are almost as important as Cindy for the symposium and the mini expo.
So the Office of Undergraduate Research, also we hire undergraduate researchers who work for the office. You may interact with some of these folks in a bit, but they're not here today. One of the things we just want to let you know is that this is the University of Utah. For those of you that are not familiar, we are the Office of Undergraduate Research, and we are housed in undergraduate studies, supporting undergraduate students across the campus. And our mission is to support students with connecting with faculty mentors so that they can do research. Our goal is that any student who'd like to do research can participate in that. And so some of the things that we like to share about our office and what you will be experiencing here is that we really do want to support you with thinking about those larger career goals. I know that I've connected with some undergraduate students, many undergraduates actually over the years. And what we know is that many of you will make determinations about your careers and what you will do next because of the experiences that you will have like this one this summer. And so we know that this is an important part of your journey as professionals. If you want to go into graduate school, some of you may find that you're doing this thing that you no longer like doing, and you're like, you know what, that was cool for the summer, not for the rest of my life. And that in itself is a good learning experience. Some of you will find that actually you want to keep doing this thing and you want to do it forever. And so you will become just like me, a professor who's obsessed with your very obscure specific thing that you do for the rest of your lives. Hopefully you will join the ranks of professor. We also know that many of you are more likely to be retained towards graduation, and you'll develop some important skills. And we're really here to support you through that process. And that this summer program brings students who have affiliations with a variety of universities. I know in our summer program, can I just ask you, how many of you are not University of Utah students? Raise your hands. Look at that. Can you just keep that up? Isn't that kind of cool? Look at this, you're already building a network. And actually, I'm just going to talk about that in your next bi-weekly. So we won't get into that right now, but that is so awesome that you all are coming from so many different places. And we're really here to support your experience. I'm just going to get into some really important business. It's going to be a lot of logistics, a lot of things to remember and details. And so really pay attention and just know that we're really here to support you. We want you to have a really awesome experience. And how long is this orientation? How long did we go for?
It is an hour and a half, so we'll be here until 11.
Okay, so just some like, you know, because we like you to take care of yourself. And I don't know, you know, it's hard to hold the attention longer than 25 minutes. So if you're starting to like nod off, you know, it's really hard to fall asleep when you're standing. So feel free to stand. We welcome a standing room. Also, we just want to logistically let you know the bathrooms are that way. So if you keep going that way, there is a copier machine that you'll see on the left. It's right in front of the copy machine. So you can help yourself to a bathroom at any point. You can also help yourself to snacks in the back. If you need water or if you need something else, just connect with one of the team and we're here to support you. We want you to feel comfortable. We know it might start to feel warm or whatever, so just, you know, hydrate. For those of you who are not used to living in Utah, you are in altitude. So So you're probably gonna get more dehydrated faster. So we really want to remind you to drink tons of water. I know it seems like really basic stuff, but actually, I don't know if young folks remember to drink enough water to begin with. You probably should be doubling your intake, right? So really take care of yourselves. But I'm really gonna hand it over to Angie. You'll just kind of hear my voice pop in and out with some fun stuff. But really now we're gonna talk about expectations. Angie's gonna walk you through a range of good stuff and good information so that it's important for you to know so we can work on what's gonna happen next for the next 10 weeks, right? And some of you actually may be in research teams that may be lasting longer. So Angie, take it away.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fukushima. So yeah, we're just gonna go into student expectations. And just so you know, you can find everything we talk about will be in Canvas. We'll talk more about that later, but also on our website and the Current Scholars resource, and we will go over that together as well. So just a reminder, conduct expectations. You are committed to participating here in the summer program for undergraduate research. Please plan on being on time and at all of the required events. We will go over what those events are and the dates. As a reminder, please remember to respond to any communications you receive from myself or from the Office of Undergraduate Research. If we are trying to communicate with you, it probably is because something needs to happen. We need to get a response from you. We need a follow-up from you. So please respond to those in a timely manner. As well as many of you will need to maintain and obtain certifications as needed to conduct your research. If you need more information on that, highly recommend you get in touch with your mentor. Many of you have already done that already. You've already started that process. But if you do need additional, like you need a certificate or anything like that, please get in touch with your mentor. They will be able to guide you in what you need to get done in order to complete your research. And so if you are ever unclear about what is the requirements of the program, things you need to do, you can always review the participation agreement. You guys did that with the form stack. There's also going to be available in Canvas and on our website. So if at any point you need clarification, reminder, just look at that. And if anything is unclear, please feel free to reach out to me and we can talk about it. So the program policies, you guys will be spending 35 to 40 hours a week on research and other program related activities. So 35 to 40 hours, that is the equivalent to a full-time job. So you guys will be spending a lot of time doing that. Research days, official research days, May 23rd to August 1st. So that in that time period, you will be doing, your own individual research with your mentors. There will be required programs. So just keep in mind, like that is the time frame that you guys are going to be here. Just to keep note of some university holidays, May 27th, June 19th, July 4th, and July 24th. Those are university holidays. The university will be closed. You are not required to work and you are not required to be here on campus for that. So please expect an adjusted schedule from your mentors for those weeks that university holidays fall on. And you guys will talk more about that individually with your mentors. So program requirements, you will have to attend all bi-weekly meetings. So yes, all the bi-weekly meetings. So as it sounds, it is bi-weekly. So the first one will be June 5th, and then it'll be 2 weeks interval from there on. So the last one, I believe, is July 31st. And so those will, we'll be doing those. You'll be meeting, those are meetings with me and Dr. Fukushima. We'll be going over some important content that we feel you guys will need for the success of your research. And really what it is, these bi-weekly meetings, they're here to build community. It's for you guys. You guys will be going off doing your own individual things, and that's great. But you guys are here. You're a research community. We want you guys to be able to get together and talk. And so that's really one of the biggest things of the bi-weeklies. As well as you guys are required to attend all the educational series events. And those dates are in the OUR calendar and on Canvas, and we will go over what those dates are. As well as the grad school mini expo. That will be on June 6th from 12 to 4 p.m. And that will be in the alumni house. We'll talk more about that, but that is the building just right across the street from us, right that way. So we'll talk more about that later. And then as well, you guys are required to meet with me as a mid-program check-in by June 21st. And so this is nothing scary, nothing for you to be worried about. It is literally just a quick check-in meeting to see how you guys are progressing in your research and how you are adjusting to being here. So as well as you guys will be required to present and attend the Summer Undergraduate Research Symposium on August 1st. We will talk more about that later. You're required to submit to Range, the undergraduate research journal that will be due August 1st. And you'll be required to submit a final report at the end of the program on August 1st. So don't worry too much about the details of this. We will go over it. We will talk about it. And you guys will get plenty of reminders of when these important dates are coming up. So for the bi-weekly meetings, those dates are June 5th, June 21st, July 3rd, July 17th, and July 31st. They will be at the same time, 9 to 10:30 a.m. They will be, for the most part, on Zoom, with the exception of the July 17th meeting. We will be meeting right here in this room for that meeting. And you guys will get more details on how to prepare for that in Canvas, as well as any additional materials you might need to prepare for the meetings. So my recommendation, review Canvas often for preparation for the meeting. My recommendation, find a consistent time at the beginning of the week, either Sunday or Monday, where you look at Canvas, you look to see what's ahead. That way you're always prepared. You know what you need to do. You know what readings are going to be required. And you won't come blindsided or unprepared to any of the meetings. The education series. So you are required to attend those, and registration prior to that is required. And we'll talk more about that. But the first one we have is tomorrow. That is Title IX for students. It is from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. We will also be doing that same topic on June 3rd. So if you attend the one tomorrow, you don't need to attend the one on June 3rd. That is optional. So don't feel like you need to attend both of those. But you do need to attend the one on May 30th, Introduction IRB from 11 to 12. Later, June 13th, Crafting Effective Abstracts, Data Visualization and Research Posters on June 20th. This is actually going to be a great resource for you guys as you prep for the Undergraduate Research Symposium and you get started on those posters that you will be making and creating for the presentation. So don't I know this seems like it's a far way down the line, but it's really not. It's going to come quick, and we want to make sure that you guys have all the resources and tools you need to be successful. And then we'll have a public speaking one on June 27th, the argument behind statistical analysis on July 11th, and then NSF grad research on July 18th. So again, these are all virtual. They will be over Zoom. You are required to attend all of them, with the exception of the Title IX. Just attend one of those. Don't attend both of those.
And Angie, the NSF grad research, that one is for students. I don't know if any of you are familiar, but if you're in STEM fields and if you're applying to grad schools, you want to start applying in your last year of your undergraduate year. My understanding, they'll go over these kinds of opportunities because you're eligible to start applying right away.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, Dr. Fukushima. And just so we can all get some great practice registering for Zoom. So if you have your cell phone, please take it out, scan the QR code, and register now for the education series that's going to be happening tomorrow, and that's Title IX for students. So I'll just give you all just another minute to finish registering. And just so you know, sometimes we definitely encourage you to register early for these events, because sometimes when you register, after you register, you get the Zoom room information. Sometimes it takes a minute or two for that to be emailed to you. And so just so you know, you're not delayed, you're not late, register early. That way, that message will get to you plenty of time. Is anyone having any issues registering? Yes. So whatever email that's going to be your preferred email that you are going to be consistently checking to get notifications, that's what I suggest you use.
But I love the question on email. You should check with your faculty mentor. Most university policies, because you're technically employed by the university for all your work at the university, you should start moving forward. Start using your university emails.
Yes.
Okay, so I haven't set up the university email yet.
Okay.
I was just wondering, I see the instructions on how to do it. I tried to put in the, I guess, temporary password to log in, but
Okay.
that wasn't working for me. So
Okay. So we can talk about that offline later. But yeah. no worries about that.
It's a great point, though. So are other folks having problems with their university email access? So just follow up with Angie afterwards.
I know a couple of you did, and hopefully that troubleshooting I suggested worked. We will just keep moving on. Okay. The grad school mini expo. So again, you are required to attend, and that will be June 6th from 12 to 4:30 p.m. at the Alumni House, and that is just the building right next to us. If you go on the campus tour afterwards, that will be pointed out to you as well. So for the grad school mini expo, we're gonna have panels and topics. They're gonna be organized into sessions, and it's gonna be all about the process of applying to grad school. We also host this event with the graduate school. So lots of important information for those of you that are interested in applying to grad school. And lunch will be provided, and we will be having a keynote address from Dean Butt of the grad school.
Can we have Shelley just share some topics?
Yeah.
Just so you have a sense of what's gonna happen.
There will be 2 sessions, so you can attend either one of them on demystifying grad school and tips for conquering imposter syndrome. There'll be one on interviewing skills, personal statements, building resumes, grad school applications will be a panel, different colleges, and then how to thrive as a graduate student. We have a bunch of graduate students who will tell you about the process, and there's even 2 that have been through the summer research program and went in graduate school afterwards.
And if you're not sure if you want to go to grad school, just use this as an opportunity to think about it. And I think it'll be good information. I think.
Again, you have to register for the Graduate School Mini Expo, so please take a minute to register right now. For the mid-program check-in meeting, again, you are required to meet with me halfway through the program, so you will have to schedule this by June 21st. And again, these meetings are just to check in on your progress, see how you're adjusting. Please don't have anxiety or think this is gonna be anything stressful. It's literally just another opportunity for us to talk. And if you're having any like issues, challenges, we can talk about it. If anything is going great, love hearing about that too. So yeah, just very stress-free. The link to schedule will be available in Canvas, as well as I do have a link here. But yeah, those meetings you'll be scheduling between June 10th and June 21st. We'll also be sending out reminders of like when you're able to schedule. So keep an eye out for those as well. The Undergraduate Research Symposium, you might hear a lot of people call it URS. That's the Undergraduate Research Symposium. So you guys are required at the end of the program to present your work in a poster format. That's going to be August 1st from 9 a.m. to 12 at, again, the Alumni House. That's just right over there. We have over 200 presenters. You're going to register by July 25th. And with your registration, that will include you guys submitting an abstract. And again, we'll talk about this. You'll have plenty of time to get ready. But just so you guys already have these dates and you're already thinking about them. And as you plan with your mentors, just to have these dates in mind as well, so you guys can plan accordingly. For your posters, we'll be providing templates, as well as you are welcome to design your own, as well as I also encourage you to talk to your mentors too about, field standards for posters, or maybe they even have a template that they would like you to use. But yeah, you will be working with your mentor on this for content organization, as well, as acknowledgements. And that's something we'll definitely go into more detail as we get closer. And then poster evaluators will be present. And so when we say poster evaluators, they're not going to be judging on who has the prettiest poster. They're going to be looking things like the learning outcomes. They're not going to be like, this poster is beautiful, this poster is not that great. That's not what they're looking at. So don't feel stressed. Don't feel like this is anything you need to get worked up about.
Do folks have questions about that? Yeah.
So the post evaluators, are they like ranking us or like giving out awards, or how does it affect us?
So then the way that they are doing is they're evaluating the effectiveness of your experience in the program. And so then what they're looking for is like basic things like, do you have research questions? Do you have your methods in there? How do you use citations? And all of that. So just kind of the basic things you would find in a poster presentation. They're just kind of looking for that. But what's also really awesome about having them there is there's somebody to talk to. Like literally there's going to be a person who you don't know, who's not in your field. I'm an ethnic studies professor, so I study issues of race and immigration. I don't know anything about engineering. but I've been assigned those posters. And so sometimes I'll go up to folks and I'll learn about their field. And so you're really there to have design, so go look at the visuals, but also talk them through, like, what do the visuals tell us? And so I think it's a really wonderful experience to practice talking out loud your research project, and you find that you're eventually going to do national conferences or even international conferences. So it's good practice. And your hand on that too?
Yeah, I'm just confused about the 200 plus presenters
Yeah.
in 3 hours.
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah,
Shelley G, you want to tell us how that works?
We're going in 3 steps. There'll be 15 minutes each, 15. So there'll be one at 9, 10, and 11. So, but we want you to attend the whole entire thing, so you can see what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, because the conference going isn't just about you talking and people showing up for you. It's also about you showing up for them, right? And so you might want to kind of figure out whose poster and do I want to learn more about and hear from them. And you'll be getting to know your colleagues, so you'll actually start making friends. You want to support them. And then there'll be other folks that are not part of this program, but are participating as NSF REUs, NIH, and all these other summer undergraduate research that we'll be presenting to. So I think it will be good networking.
So range, the undergraduate research journal. So at the end of the program, you will submit a 1-page summary of your work or experience. Longer submissions are welcome. When you're submitting these, you will be working with your mentor to determine what is appropriate content, as well as your mentor must approve whatever you are going to submit. So my recommendation, please do not wait until the last minute to submit this. Your mentor has to approve it. So you want to give your mentor lots of time for you and your mentor to go over your work together to figure out, if what you're submitting is appropriate. The benefits of this, you get wider visibility as an undergraduate researcher. There's not like a whole lot of opportunities for undergraduates to, have their work, in a searchable, indexable online format that literally anyone can look up and find. So this is a great opportunity for that.
And so this is archived in the university library as well. And so other students can find your projects as well. And so, yeah, what Angie said about like findable and, how many of you published already? Maybe some of you have publishing experience. If you haven't, we don't need to raise your hand, so I'm not trying to embarrass anybody in the room. But like if you haven't, that's actually normal. Most people come out of undergrad never publishing, right? And so this will kind of give you a little bit more of a competitive edge of not only having experience with research, but also and practicing it through speaking about it at the symposium, but you'll also have an opportunity to publish it.
And so, oh yeah, question.
what is the journal to write about the research particularly or the experience?
Oh, you could do either. So some students might talk about their research experience. Some students might actually focus more on their actual thesis, like they'll have a full-on essay. If you do a full-on essay, then I would recommend you make sure your mentor approves this. Because if you're using their data or information, they may not be ready to have it disseminated. And so at minimum, what we request is an abstract of what you've done. I know it's a lot, right? Like how are folks feeling?
Yeah.
Are folks feeling, you feeling okay? You're
Yeah.
Angie still learning.
Yeah. Don't worry, we will talk more about this. These are just to have the dates in your head already, but don't worry, there'll be plenty of time to do all of this. So for the final report, this is just reflects on both the research experience and your participation in SPUR. So this is more of a survey. It's not like a paper submission. So don't think you will be submitting a 2-page report or anything like that. That's not what this is. The link is going to be for the final report can be found in Canvas and online, and it's going to be due August 1st. So again, this is just to reflect on the experience and your participation in SPUR. If there were things you liked about it, we want to hear. If there were things that were challenging that you think we could do better, we want to hear about that. So yeah, please don't stress too much about this one either. So just some important program information, the attendance policy. Like we went over, you guys are expected to attend all required program events. That is the bi-weekly meetings, the education series, the graduate school mini expo, as well as the summer undergraduate research symposium, URS. Those are the required events. If there are any other events that we feel would be beneficial to you, you will be hearing communications from us about it, as well as in the calendar. You can always find a list of these events and in Canvas. And so stipend. So stipend model, you guys are hired as temporary University of Utah employees. The stipend is considered taxable income and it will be distributed semi-monthly in installments. So in order for you to get paid, there is no time cards, there is no Chronos for those of you who are familiar with it, and there is no punch in, punch out.
And before we move on, really quickly about that one, I think there's a couple folks who are receiving this in the form of a scholarship. If that's the case, then you're receiving it differently. So just so you know, just check in with Angie if you're confused and you're like, I don't remember any of this. It's probably because your situation is slightly different. So just check in with Angie.
Yes, thank you. And so payment schedule. This is the payment schedule. If you guys want to take a picture of that, feel free. Like I said, you guys will have access to this PowerPoint later. All of this is in Canvas. So however you want to have this reminded, but this is the payment schedule. This is in the schedule in which the payments will be distributed in. So it's every 2 weeks, you guys get the same payday as a regular staff, as any of us here. So to get your stipend, direct deposit, signing up for direct deposit. So you guys we have step-by-step links on how to do it. We'll also go over it too, but the best way to do that is you guys are gonna go to our main page, our.utah.edu/SPUR. You'll go to the current scholars tab. You'll scroll to the bottom. There's a section that says payment and scholarships. And then you'll go there, and then in there, it'll be direct deposit. So in that same section, you'll also be able to find W-2 and W-4 information. So I know what I just said probably seems like really abstract, and you're thinking that doesn't make any sense. So we can totally go over this together too. So like I said, if you go to our.utah.edu/SPUR, this is the page you will get to. Here, highlighted in yellow, is the current scholars tab. That is where you're going to go first. And then it'll take you to this section. It'll look just like this, as well as you guys will have the SPUR calendar, link to the Canvas page, SPUR policies. So if you need to be reminded, if anything's confusing to you, you want to go over it with your mentors, you can find it there. After this orientation takes place, the recordings and the PowerPoint slides will be found there, as well as in Canvas. The SPUR schedule, and then the link to the final report can be found here. So if we're just moving through, we go to the scholars, we'll scroll. There's this section titled Payment and Scholarships. Right there, highlighted in yellow, is direct deposit. That is where you will sign up, as well as you'll find your paycheck history, W-2 information, and W-4 information.
So if you find out on the days that Angie showed you earlier, and you look at your bank account, you're like, I never received any money. What's going on? We might have received a check here. So then you might want to just double check with the office, and your check will be sitting in the area that Angie and all these lovely folks hang out. And what's your room number? 003. So downstairs. So you'll I'm free. So you'll come to my office. I won't have your check.
But yeah, please sign up for direct deposit. That's going to be like the fastest way for you to get your money. Otherwise, yeah, paper checks, it'll come to us, and then you'll have to go and do however you get your money deposited in the bank, or if you do it online. But yeah, direct deposit is going to be the best way. Okay, so for the research expectations, so the specifics are going to be negotiated between you and your mentor. Between the two of you, I know some of you guys have already done that, or if you're in a group, you will devise a schedule to ensure that you are contributing the required number of hours to the program. This schedule is going to be in writing and signed by both you and your mentors and returned to me. And more information on that will be in Canvas. So if there's any questions about your schedule or your progress, that documentation is there if we have any questions. So any questions about your schedule? Yes.
Is there a certain time when that schedule is going to be due?
So yeah, like I said, in Canvas, we're going to talk more about it, but ideally sooner rather than later. My recommendation is you should probably have that schedule devised by the end of this week, because your research days officially starts tomorrow. So you definitely want to hit the ground running with that. And so that schedule worksheet template is in Canvas and is in that current scholars resource page we just looked at, but this is an example of what it's going to look like. And it's a reminder of like the university closure days. So you guys can, expect to have some sort of adjusted schedule on any days that there is a university closure. That way you guys are adjusting, that way you're still doing the required number of hours. Any questions about that? Yeah. So again, sooner rather than later, you should do it. My recommendation is you should work with your mentors. I know a lot of you have already done that and your mentors have already submitted their schedules to me. My recommendation is by the end of the week, like I said, you're gonna get just like hit the ground running with your research. So you definitely want to figure this out sooner rather than later. That way there's no questions. My recommendation too is if like be upfront and be as honest about what like your time commitment. If you are, I know a lot of people have, you might have another job or you might have a different commitment on your time. Just be aware that one, you are supposed to be committing 35 to 40 hours a week, but also, if there are certain days that maybe you can't, or certain times of the days that you can't work, you should be very upfront with that with your mentors. And like I said, establish this in the beginning of the experience. Talk with your mentors. What is it that you're hoping to get out of it? Your mentors have their plans of like what you guys are going to be doing, but what do you hope to get out of it? What would you like to be doing as well? Review your participation agreements with your mentors. Discuss anything that is unclear to you, or if you have any questions.
And one thing I just want to emphasize, the reason why the timeline and expectations is important is you shouldn't be working more than 40 hours. Okay, so if your mentor is asking you to work more than 40 hours, that's something where you can actually consult with the office of how you have that conversation about what they've asked you to do actually is more than what you can do sufficiently. You are in a full-time job this summer, right, for the next 10 weeks. And so your mentor is expecting somebody who will be on board fully. What those look like, we encourage that people stick to business hours, but if it's not regular business hours, then how do you move that time, right? Because you should not be working every day of the week, right, for 8 hours a day. And so just work that out with your mentor, what that looks like, and make sure that you're both in agreement about how that works.
Thank you for that, Dr. Fukushima. So just a reminder of the mentor expectations. So your mentors are going to be providing you guys with a hands-on research experience. They are devising a plan in which you guys will be, over the course of the 10 weeks, working 35 to 40 hours a week on research and program-related activities. Your mentors are going to clearly describe to you what your specific research jobs and duties are, and like what the expectation is for you in the beginning. Again, highly encourage you, like if that is missing in the conversation, ask, because if it's unclear between the two of you, we don't want any miscommunications. Be honest and straightforward. That goes for mentor and for mentees. What's the expectation? Work timelines. Your mentors are going to be in charge of making sure that you guys are certified in whatever, human subject research, animal research, laboratory, or environmental health, HIPAA, etc. They will work with you. They will get you all the necessary certifications that you need in order to complete your research. So if you are unclear on what those would be, ask. Have that conversation very early on. So communications, this is super, super important. It's a two-way street. It goes both ways. Always communicate with your faculty mentors, in addition to me, the Office of Undergraduate Research, and to Dr. Fukushima, who is also a resource. If you are having any issues, there's any questions coming up, feel free to use me as a resource. We can talk about ways to, conflict resolution, anything like that. If you need help on how to get started with like conversations that you don't know how to get started with them, come to me. I'm here to help you, as well as the rest of the team is. We know there's going to be challenges, so don't be upset when challenges arise. That's to be expected, and definitely don't feel like anybody did anything wrong. It's a natural part of the human experience, especially when you're working with other people. That will happen. So emailing and scheduling appointments, that's going to be the easiest way to get with me, is to email me and to schedule an appointment with me. If you need to do a one-on-one with me, I'm totally be available for that. And at the Office of Undergraduate Research, we do keep business hours. So that is Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So keep in mind, if you send me an email past 5 p.m., I probably will not respond until the next day. If you send me an email 5 o'clock at the end of the day on Friday, I will not respond until Monday. So just keep that in mind. Any questions about that?
But if it is urgent, feel free to send us after hours. I generally, because I'm faculty, I do generally check emails pretty off hours. But we don't expect our staff to work after hours. And so that's why we want to be really clear on Angie's time.
So your mentors will also be receiving semi-monthly emails from OUR just to confirm and to check in that you guys are progressing in your project as outlined in the schedules that you and your mentor will come up with. If your mentor indicates that there are any issues with your work, you will receive official notice from our office along with a plan for remedying the issue and a timeline for doing so. If you fail to meet the expectations outlined in the notice, you will be dismissed from the program and forfeit the remainder of your SPUR stipend. Any questions on that?
It feels heavy.
It does, right? That seemed like a.
Very serious. Most people have very good experiences, so you know. This is just sometimes things happen, and actually this is like worst case scenario.
Yes.
Our goal is usually to get you on track, and we recognize actually research changes. So sometimes you might find that you're doing something and it's not working out. That's not what this is about. This is if somebody literally stops communicating with their professor,
Yes.
right? Or you stop showing up for work. And then they're like, what happened? What happened, right? And then we actually begin to worry you. So just know we want to do gentle reach out and support you and getting on track, because sometimes things happen in your lives that actually impact your ability to show up to work. And so if that's happening, if you get sick or you're not feeling well that day, check in with your mentor and say, hey, can I have a sick day? I'm not feeling well today, right? That happens literally, right? We're people. And so we just want to encourage, like, communication is the most important thing. And getting you on track is the most important thing. But if you find that this is not working out for you, then there's always remedies and options too.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, Dr. Fukushima. And I will just emphasize, please, please, please communicate. Don't shut down, don't go silent, because then we do worry. We think worst case, we think something's happened to you, and you know, we worry about you guys. So please, if there's ever any issues, communicate with your faculty. My recommendation, communicate with your faculty mentor first, and then you can come to me, or you can come to me as well. If you feel like this is something that you would like to maybe talk with myself or Dr. Fukushima, tips on how to, you know, address some conversations, heavy conversations you need to be having with your mentors, please come to us as a resource. We are here to help you.
Do you folks have questions about this? I just want to pause. Any questions? There's been a lot of information. Many of you had jobs before or worked in some kind of even volunteer, right? And if this is your first time having a job, then these are things to just kind of know that this is going to be a learning experience for you, and that you'll be figuring it out. And also just know your professors are people. Sometimes we're cranky, we're weird, or whatever, right? And so sometimes that impacts our communication. So just know that maybe it's not always going to be about what's happening with you, but maybe what's happening with them, and they're just not communicating, right? So yeah, just to kind of share, you know, like your professors have bad days too, right? Or they have like these are not the best communicator. You can also share that, right? Like, if you're like, you know, when you said this, that's fine, right?
Thank you. So dismissal from the program or withdrawing. So if you miss multiple required events, you will meet with me and we will talk on how we can get you back on track. If you continue to, you know, you don't follow the plan that we came up with, you ignore the remedying solutions that we came up with, this will lead to you being dismissed. If a student or a mentor agrees that a student is unable to get back on track, you may be dismissed from the program. You would forfeit the remainder of your SPUR stipend. If you are living in SPUR coordinated on-campus housing, you will be asked to move out immediately. So if at any point you are unable to adhere to these policies, please contact me immediately. Failure, like I said, failure to meet the SPUR policies will result in the forfeiture of your SPUR stipend and you will be dismissed from the program. And again, if you are dismissed from the program and you are living in on-campus housing, you will be asked to move out immediately. Okay, so travel reimbursement. So as you know, for SPUR students, you you can get a travel reimbursement for up to $500. Happiest students, unfortunately, you are not eligible. And if you are a Reach U2 scholar, your travel reimbursement is up to $600. And unfortunately, U of U students are not eligible for the reimbursement. So for the reimbursement, you will need to send all receipts related to your travel to me. So your airfare, any baggage, if you stayed in a hotel, transportation, anything related to your travel, you will need to send me those receipts if you want the travel reimbursement. We cannot reimburse you without receipts. And so I know many of you have already sent that information to me. If you haven't and you are wanting to get the travel reimbursement, please send all of your receipts to me by May 31st. After that, we will be sending follow-up emails for the next steps for those who are applying for the travel reimbursement. Any questions? Yes.
Is the reimbursement for the 500 for round trip? Like, is that?
Yes, it is round trip travel. That's a great question. Yeah, and it's up to $500. So you may not get the full 500, which kind of depends. Again, receipts. If you don't provide us with receipts, we cannot reimburse you.
And then really quick question, so Angie, did you already send them information about Conquer or they're not?
That's the next step. Yeah. Yeah.
So then you're gonna hear something about Conquer. And that's just a system that we use to request, because this is all bureaucracies, running a university environment. So we have to submit it to the university, then it has to get approved. And so then, just so you know, you'll be getting instructions about a system called Conquer. Most likely you'll have to make Angie your proxy. So then that way she can fill it out for you. If you do not follow those steps to make her your proxy, or if that has not happened, then we're gonna have to have Angie schedule an appointment with you. And so we can walk through how do you actually go through the system, because you're technically all employed, you're employees of the university. And so this is how employees get reimbursed.
Yes, thank you for that. And again, like Dr. Fukushima mentioned, this is a bureaucracy at the university. So it'll be a slow process, but don't worry, we will get that figured out. So just don't expect the money to come right away. We have some steps we need to get through before we can get there. Okay, so we talked a little about the current scholars resource page, but I just want to talk about it again. Useful resources all in one place. Canvas link, calendar, schedule worksheets, direct deposit, CIS login, you can go through there, W4 information, and the final report. So again, this is going to be, that and Canvas are going to be the first two places I recommend you go if you are looking for any of the information we have talked about today, or if you are confused about anything, those are the first two places you should go. If you still having trouble or something's unclear to you, feel free to reach out to me and then we can talk about it as well. So the Canvas page, all the information that we've discussed today is going to be found in Canvas. Again, highly recommend you check it regularly. Find a consistent time at the beginning of the week is my recommendation to go over Canvas. Find any information, upcoming events, anything you're required to do, that's all going to be there. It's all organized by week, so you'll find all the Ed Series information, bi-weekly meetings, activities, events. So the program calendar, that with all of the events and activities, again, you can find it on Canvas, current scholars research page. Things change though. Sometimes we have to move events. Sometimes the times change. We will communicate that with all of you in advance. You will get lots of warnings, but in case you want to just be double sure, the OUR calendar events is going to be the most up-to-date calendar. So if there is a time change, location change, anything like that, you'll also be able to find it on the OUR calendar. So campus resources. Again, all of this can be found on Canvas. For those of you that are not from the University of Utah, we'll have a campus map, the UTA public transportation information, campus shuttles, the library information for the student union, which is that building right across the parking lot from us. And if you go on the tour, we'll point it out to you. We'll have a tour of that as well as the bookstore. We will have resources for that too. All this on Canvas. Some wellness resources for you all. The Center for Student Wellness, student mental health resources, and the Employee Assistance Program in Mental Health. So the university is like pretty clear in their distinction of student services and employee services. So if you are currently a University of Utah student, You can go to the student mental health resources and the student wellness center. That is available to you. If you are not from the University of Utah and you are here for SPUR just for the summer, you will have to go through the employee assistance program in mental health. That's just a really clear distinction, just so you all are aware. We have the campus recreation center as well. For students taking credit hours, so if you are a University of Utah student, you're taking any credit hours, there is no membership fee for you to access the student recreation center. But if those of you that are not University of Utah students, again, you're just here, you're hired for the summer, you will have to pay out-of-pocket fees for the campus recreation center. And I think it's about $20 a month if you're interested in that, as well as there are on-campus hospitals and clinics. Yes, Benchmark does have a gym. So that is also an option to you if you don't want to pay the membership fee. I think gentleman in the back, yes.
Is there any reimbursement or, accommodation for parking permits?
No, unfortunately not. We all have to pay for parking, like all of us staff, we also pay for our own. Yes, so, sorry, there's not much I can do about that.
So you said, students taking credit hours, is it credit hours during the summer or just students?
It is during the summer, yes. Yeah. Question in the back. So all of the housing, like all the parking lots will have signs of like what permits are accepted there. So you can also on the campus map as well on Canvas, you can see like the parking map as well. So you can see all the U parking lots.
Thank you, but maybe can you add to their resources
Yeah.
or link up to parking? Because I think campus parking isn't super viewable on that campus map. It's wide. Yeah, the little lots. Your hand went up here?
Yeah, I was wondering if there's like, specifically, you were talking about certificates and stuff like that, but what about like need a piece of registration for a specific like, program? Like, I know that I need data, for what I do, so.
Your faculty actually is.
Yes.
Is that your faculty? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So encourage you to talk to them about any additional like resources that you will need as required for your research. Yeah.
If they're asking you to do something and it's requiring you to pay out of pocket, what I would request you do is send Angie a message. What she'll do is she'll forward it on to me. I can then handle faculty communication. So then I'll reach out to them and be like, hey, you agreed to do this thing. And in order to hire someone, you need to help support them. So I can always communicate when that's an issue.
All here for 10 weeks and you will be doing 35 to 40 hours a week on research and program related activities. However, highly encourage you, especially if you're not from Utah, check out some of the cool local things we have here. We have resources for you, some recommendations. So some activities you can do on campus on your own.
Can you go to the beautiful website?
Yeah. Yeah. So if we're doing a tour right now, our.utah.edu, this is what our main page looks like. You go here to the right drop down menu.
Or you can do /SPUR right there.
Yep. Or you can go right here. We're doing the long way so you guys can see that. Apply for funding, and then you'll see summer program SPUR. And then again here, quick links, current scholars page is right here, but summer activities. So this page was designed by Shelly, and as you guys can see, it is wonderful. So everything we're talking about here in terms of like places that you guys can go check out, local hikes, campus recreation, grocery stores, you can find all that information here. So campus events, Red Bee Gardens, if you haven't gone, highly recommend. As employees with your university ID, you do get a discount to the gardens. So if you have an opportunity to go, highly encourage you to. Utah Museum of Fine Arts, Natural History Museum. As well as we have some off-campus recommendations that we have, the Hogle Zoo. That one's here in Salt Lake City. Loveland Planet Aquarium. That is a little farther. That's in Draper. So, you know, if you all ever want to take an excursion on your own, something fun you guys can all do in your downtime, go to Draper, check out the aquarium. The planetarium is here in Salt Lake. Highly recommend. We have Symphony, Ballet, the Tracy Aviary at Liberty Park. That's here in Salt Lake City. It's fairly close. You can take transportation. It's pretty cool. They have like over 300 species of birds. So check it out. Something fun to do. Lots of events. I know sometimes they have like food trucks park out there too. So you can definitely go make it afternoon, make a day of it, and you'll have a great time. The Twilight Concert Series, that does happen here in Salt Lake City. They do have lots of bands that come and they'll perform, and it's fairly cheap. I think sometimes tickets are like $30. So yeah, something to do, things to think about. We are in Utah. We have all these lovely, beautiful mountains, lots of hiking opportunities. So highly encourage you to check those out if you have the time. Lots of outdoor recreation you can do. So yeah, if you're interested, you want to know some short hikes near campus, we have a resource for that. So, as well as shopping. So if City Creek Center, that's here in Salt Lake City, a giant, massive mall. I'm sure you've all seen it if you've driven through downtown, as well. You have the Gateway Mall. It does, but they have lots of activities in the summer. Like they do like goat yoga, beer and yoga. They have like an arts fest, farmers market. So highly recommend you guys check that stuff out. Grocery stores. There's one Trader Joe's in Salt Lake City. And if you take the tracks, it will literally drop you right in front of it. So if you need to go to the grocery store, Trader Joe's is a good option. Sprouts, Smith's Marketplace, as well as Herman's. It is a massive grocery store here in downtown. But yeah, so all these wonderful resources, you guys can find it all here as well as in Canvas. Any questions about anything we just went over or anything prior?
You have the largest cluster.
Yes.
There we go. The largest cold stone. Oh, Costco. Yeah. There's also like, I don't know if you guys saw it. It's like the weirdest thing ever. There's a massive sign. It's in Murray. I always point it out when I drive. The very first Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, is in Utah. So I don't know if you guys want to take a picture of the sign. I've done that before and sent it to my friends. But any questions?
Yeah, we also have a really fun farmers market, Salt Lake City Farmers Market at Pioneer Park. I don't know when that starts, but it's huge and super fun.
Yeah, it's like Saturdays and Saturdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a hand.
Pioneer Theater Company is doing shows currently. I think the last show is actually going to be this Saturday.
Okay, I would be remiss if I did not suggest that Salt Lake Acting.
Nope.
They also action.
Here in the Great Home of 1812 is still showing. That was really.
That's the Pioneer Theater show.
Yeah, they're really amazing.
Yeah, hand in the back.
Amazing to close like early on during the weekends. Like I would see Grace close during Sundays, so just be aware of that.
And yes, lots of things are closed on Sundays.
Yes. So plan accordingly. If you are someone who has to do Sunday shopping, maybe just know that some things might be closed.
So you can say that that red line tracks that's right next to it's like right next to Callard Village, all like Fort Douglas. That will be your best friend too. Like almost all of these places you can get to by public transit. So if you're ever bored, just follow that red line and you'll go somewhere.
That's great. That's a great suggestion. Thank you.
Recreational activities, are there any like volunteering?
Yes. Oh, we have a recommendation from Gabby.
It's actually really convenient. It's here at the Union. If you want to volunteer at the feeding food pantry over the summer, come talk to me. I am in charge of it. So if you want to invest the hours, let me know. You can easily do research stuff while sitting at the desk.
Yeah. Hand in the back.
Yeah, they do. They are definitely another one. I guess one of the things is you could just send us if there's actual kind of certain kinds of things you'd like to be involved in. I encourage you to email Angie. I also have a lot of networks too, so Angie can bump it my way if she's not familiar with the request. Since there is a lot of, there's actually so many opportunities to volunteer. Utah loves volunteering. They love giving time. It's part of the culture here.
Yeah, so we just have these wonderful recommendations from your lovely peers. Highly encourage you to talk to any of the locals here too. I'm sure they have lots of recommendations.
There's a shopping center, like a block behind Trader Joe's called Trolley Square.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really recommend checking it out.
And it's always empty, so it's very.
Yeah, it's really chill there. There's a lot of great restaurants there. If you're like looking for like a dinner place, something nice to eat. And it's a really nice shopping center. They have like a lot of really nice, and also a little bit of an upscale like stores too. So if you're looking for stuff to look at.
Yeah, so highly encourage you guys. Maybe you wanna make a group. Maybe you guys all do a tour of your favorite places. Maybe you guys go to dinner one day. I don't know. Totally up to you guys. This is your community. This is your cohort. I highly encourage you guys to use and view each other as resources as well. Totally encouraged. These are just some suggestions. So anything else you guys can think of, let us know too. So that for the future, we can also update this, and we can let the cohorts after you guys know the same information.
Perfect, though. I hope you really enjoy, for those of you that are visiting Utah, really find time to like explore, and make friends. Yeah, really find connections, and then also know that I think Angie's gonna give us, a team's way to connect with colleagues. Because if you're doing something, maybe you can just reach out to folks and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do the same. Anybody wanna join? Because maybe your roommate's doing something. And you're like, okay, they're okay, let's not bother them, right? But you wanna do something. You don't have to only hang out with your roommate, right? For those of you who have roommates. And for those of you that are not on campus, I really hope you connect with some of these cool folks in the room.
Yeah, absolutely. And so just like a little more information on housing. So you guys, move-in day, for those that are staying in housing, you guys all moved in yesterday. I heard lots of positive things. Everyone got to where they needed to go. There were no issues. Just a reminder, move-out day is August 2nd. You have to move out by 10 a.m. And just a reminder, the University of Utah is a dry campus. No alcohol is allowed. So even if you are 21 and older, still not allowed, as well as it is not allowed in Benchmark Plaza. If you are found in violation, you will be immediately dismissed from university housing and the SPUR program. So, just keep that in mind. Any questions about
But
that?
if you are 21, there is a state store and there are.
Yes.
So, you can. always-
Yes. All the liquor stores in the state of Utah, just so you know, are closed on Sunday. So if you are 21 and over, plan accordingly. So just some additional OUR resources that we have for students. So the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program, shorthand is UROP, is currently open to all U of U students. It is use a $1,200 taxable stipend for 120 hours work of research work over the course of one semester. It'll be distributed similarly by monthly installments. You can get up to 2 fundings for Europe funding, and the deadline for those U of U students that are interested in doing research next semester for fall 2024, that deadline to apply is July 5th. Okay. As well as University of Utah students, there are scholarships. We have the D Foundation, which is student research contributes to the well-being of Northern Utah residents. The Francis Family Scholarship, students majoring in arts, social science, humanities, and interdisciplinary fields. The Parent Fund for students who have completed 2 semesters of Europe or seniors who have applied for spring graduation. For any of these deadlines or how to apply, you can find more information on our website, so our.utah.edu. These, unfortunately, are only for University of Utah students.
But Angie's gonna talk about what's not for you.
Yes. So this travel and small grants, well, before we get to that, students can apply for research grants to help support their work. Applicants must be working with a faculty mentor. For travel grants, it is $500. A lot of students use this for like conference registration, airfare, lodging, mileage to get to the conference. Small grants are $500 for research supplies, special training fees, kind of other things associated with your research. For deadline, we do review these every month, and so we do it for the month prior. So let's say you wanted to apply for, what's the next month? June. You would need to apply May 31st is the last day, so in order so we could review it for June. And so just for you all to know as you plan ahead, my advice, apply early. That way, this is one less thing you need to worry about.
Or just ask your faculty if their research funds can cover this. Most faculty do have research funds
Yeah.
that they can support small fees like this.
But if not, we are always a resource too. Question. So our website, our.utah.edu/scholarships. That's where you can find the most information about all of this. Oh, is it travel and small grants? Awards, thank you.
But just go to our.utah.edu. When you go to that main page, you're gonna see, we have 4 big buttons. One of them is fun.
Yeah.
It'll be.
Yeah, and it'll take you to all of this information. So the undergraduate research scholar designation, so that is available to University of Utah students who have completed at least 2 semesters of undergraduate research presented at an OUR undergraduate research symposium. We do those 3 times a year. Fall, that is only virtual, and we do spring and summer, and those are in person.
They're gonna be done. 'Cause they're
Yeah.
gonna do it part of this. So you'll have.
You'll have fulfilled this one of this, yeah. Yep. And then submitting to Range, the undergraduate research journal. So again, if you are a University of Utah students, you have committed or completed most of this. So one more research semester under your belt and you apply. So highly encourage you guys to do that. The designation does go on your transcript, as well as you do get a cord at graduation that you can wear. So keep that in mind. And then so a resource that we have open to all students, Funding Fridays. So that is every Friday during the summer semester, starting from May 14th through August 1st. It is 11 a.m. to noon via Zoom. It is just a virtual drop-in hour. So if you have any questions related to like research, how to get funding for research, highly encourage you to just drop by. You would just register. You can ask your question, and then you can be on with your day. So it's a great resource, as well as we have the IRB lab. You guys will be learning more about what IRB is in one of our education series coming up. So more on that. But if you ever need to talk about things related to IRB, I know a lot of research does require you to go through IRB. And so those dates are June 6th, June 20th, July 11th, and July 25th. Virtually over Zoom, it's 9 to 10:30 a.m. But if you want to do this in person, it's also in the group seminar room 2130N. So more information, Marriott Lobby, thank you. And so if you have more questions about that or how to register, links are there, as well as this will be in Canvas, as well as this opportunity is open to all students. So everyone here, the OUR Research Opportunity Database, it is not an exhaustive list of everybody doing research here at the University of Utah, but it is a pretty great place to start if you are looking to get started in undergraduate research, or maybe looking for something in the future to get started. Faculty here at the University of Utah will submit. They're looking for undergraduate students to work on their research projects with them. So if that is something that you're interested in, highly encourage you to check it out. You can view by college. That way you can sort to the opportunities that are of interest to you. And what's really great about the opportunity database, you don't need to have prior research experience. I know you guys are all getting that right now, but you do not need to have prior research experience to join any of these opportunities, as well as you don't even need to be majoring in the same field of the research. So if you are a STEM major and you decided, I'm really interested in a humanities research project, you can totally do that. There is no rule that says you can't, and it doesn't make you less competitive than, say, somebody who does have experience in that field. This is just a great opportunity for you guys to build your network and build, your research portfolio.
So one thing is for the non-UOB students, this is actually a good way if you want to continue to work with faculty at the University of Utah. If they have virtual as an option, so you can continue to do research here, I would inquire about that. That might be a good thing.
Yep.
But if they,
Yeah, so this is great timing. So what's next? Immediately following this tour, you will this orientation, there is a campus tour led by Kishan. He is one of our URL, our undergraduate research leaders here at the Office of Undergraduate Research. So that's going to be happening from 11:30 to 12:30. He will take you around campus, as well as immediately following that tour will be the Marriott Library tour, and that will be from 12:30 to 1:30. So if you are already on the campus tour, it will end at the library, and I will be there to meet you all. So don't worry about that. And then tomorrow we do have the education series Title IX for students. That's going to be 11 to 12 over Zoom, and you all registered for that just now. So you should have gotten that information, the link with the Zoom room and how to get in. Tomorrow, plan that on being your first, full day of research. I know many of you have already have plans to be with your mentors after all of this. That's totally fine. And then just so you know, this coming Monday, May 27th is Memorial Day. So that is a university holiday. The university is closed. You are not expected to work on that day. So just expect an adjusted schedule so you guys can make up the time for the university closure date. As well as next week, the opening luncheon is going to be on May 29th. That's going to be in Crimson View from 12 to 1. Okay, so just one final thing of housekeeping. If you would all please take out your phone, scan this QR code, the image release consent form. So we have this, we often have a photographer at our events. For example, the undergraduate research symposium, we do have a photographer who goes around, takes pictures of students. We may or may not use these pictures again, our events. So if, whether or not you consent to us using your image, please just fill out the form. You can say yes or no. It's not going to hurt our feelings if you say no, but just keep in mind if you do not consent. And for example, at the undergraduate research symposium, we have a photographer going around taking pictures. It will just be up to you to like tell the photographer, I do not give my consent for you to use my image in any promotion that you guys do.
And one thing you should know is we actually share the photos with all of you.
Yes.
So you have the privilege of scrolling through these hundreds and being like, where am I? And you know what I mean? Like, who doesn't want to find a photo of themselves, right?
Yeah, and you know, we have a professional photographer, so everyone comes out looking amazing and lovely. So pictures for you guys to keep. We also do take like a group picture at the end of symposium too. So like if you want to like, you know, have that, definitely encourage you guys to, but it's up to you. Don't feel like you need to. Okay, so just a reminder, our hours of operation on Office of Undergraduate Research, it is 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sill Center, that's this building in room 005. That is the basement. They call it the garden level. That sounds so much nicer. So if you take those stairs, you go downstairs, you go straight to us. So if you need to contact us, our.utah.edu, you can email OUR. There's our phone number. If you want to ever just contact me directly, here's my email and my direct line. So yeah, feel free to contact me. Any questions, concerns you have, definitely here to help.